Yeah, man. It's something that's not talked about enough, for sure. I love the fact addiction is being talked about more often and openly because that means people are feeling more comfortable about it. And this will help others that are going through it. Believe it or not, if you're going through it right now, you might not want to hear stories about how other people recovered addiction because the last thing you want to think about, if you're struggling with withdrawals every day or cravings, whatever it may be, I never wanted to go to NA or AA or any of that shit. I didn't want to hear it. And that was my experience. A lot of people are like that. But when they do decide to get ready, everybody has that breaking point, that point where it switches gears in your addiction, you know what I mean? When it's not fun anymore and you just get sick and tired of being miserable. That's when the other stories and other people's experiences tend to help. They come in handy. True stories people can relate to, and I've never been to a rehab personally, but I've heard enough and I know enough people to where I know they frown upon talking about personal experiences sometimes, like glorifying addiction, which I get. Nobody wants to glorify it, but talking about personal experiences and true stories instead of glorifying it, it's just more or less pointing out, like, how close you came to maybe death or how crazy that was. They're memories that are going to be with you forever, whether you like it or not, whether anybody else likes it or not. This is just facts. This type of stuff is imprinted in your brain. So it's all about being able to deal with that healthy. That's the basis of it. And what I want to talk about today on the Badapple Fact podcast, here, let's start with that. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you. Mike Anderson here, Mr. 603, tuning in. I'm going to skip the intro for you guys because this is an important video for me, especially right now. Summer's here. People are really moving and grooving out there. There's moves to be made on the streets. Don't make them, man. This right here is for the ones that want to enjoy this summer. Let's enjoy this summer. You're not going to enjoy this summer out in a tent, dog, using and abusing, man. That's not life anymore. So this is for all the homies and all the people that need to hear it. I'm with you guys, and let's go, because this is going to be a beautiful summer. So I want you to be a part of it with me. But I'm not going to sit here and lecture you guys about my time in addiction and my horror stories. Everybody's got their own, and I do think they're important to be shared. If you want to hear some of mine, let me know. I will make videos on them. And but today I want to talk about after you recover, because recovery isn't just detoxing. A lot of people think, well, once you're not detoxing, you're done. You kick the habit. That couldn't be further from the truth, my friend. The detox is not easy. It's a huge part of it. But the mental game is the long run. The detox is just the battle. You might have won that battle, but you still have a whole war to fight. And I'm here with you on that. And what I want to say today, that maybe some people don't realize if they haven't been through it, is believing in yourself. You have to be able to be confident in the choices you make after you beat this addiction. Because for me, I was in addiction for so long, and I made so many poor choices and messed my life up so bad that now, once I got my life back together, you second guess everything. Every choice you make, you're like, well, yeah, I mean, you really overthink it. And overthinking is a good tool to use, because you tend to think of crazy scenarios, but you're prepared for them if they happen. The other thing is, though, I can overthink it all day long and talk myself right out of it. And I feel like that's a real easy way to get yourself into a rut. If you get used to talking yourself out of situations because you're uncomfortable and you're second guessing your actual self, that stems from this whole recovery thing, because that addiction did that damage to your brain. I mean, I still second guess myself on so many choices that should be natural, that should just come to me fluently, and I will sit there and overthink and process this, and I'll lose sleep over it. This is not healthy stuff. So this is all stuff I'm still working on too. I'm 9 years sober off of heroin and fentanyl, and The recovery is still a war that I'm fighting mentally because I'm still learning myself. And I still second guess myself all the time. I got to stop doing that. That's why I'm making this video, because I'm sure there's situations that maybe you guys can relate to. If once you've got clean and you're doing the right thing, and you're doing what everybody else tells you to do, it feels like, right? You know, once you get clean and you go through the steps and the programs or however it worked for you in your personal life, but then you go, say, maybe work a 9 to 5 and you're keeping yourself busy, that's all great. But at the end of the day, you're kind of just following orders almost, to this is how it's supposed to be and fall in line. And once you get a routine of that, that's fine. But are you making decisions yourself in this time? I mean, it's healthy to fall into that routine and get used to it and go to work, all fine. That's good stuff right there. But on your free time, are you making, conscious choices that can help you progress? Don't stall yourself because you're no longer an addict. I stalled myself for years just by thinking, well, I'm not using, so I'm good. Well, that whole time I could have been building myself, and I could have been focusing on my dream. I could have been spreading a message like this, and I would be way further than I am right now. But instead, I just sat around and I thought I was good because I wasn't using, which, yes, is a huge step. And as long as you're doing that, you are doing something right. But I strongly encourage you to focus and try to practice some brain exercises and make decisions yourself without second guess it, and see what happens. Make some mistakes too. The mistakes doesn't have to lead to you relapsing. You can, you could do something creative that makes you just a little bit uncomfortable and see if it works. That's all. Do something and practice your brain workout, because that will help you progress. And that's a huge part, because you find yourself getting bored into that daily routine that, everybody's telling you what to do. I find it there's more oftentimes than not, that's when it's going to lead to a relapse. And we don't want that. So if you keep pushing yourself to a little bit new adventures once in a while to keep that spice in your own life, dude, you have to replace getting high with something. Life does get boring. So try something new that's healthy and productive and see what happens. See the feedback. I do this. I make videos. I'm trying to make funny videos. I'm trying to, I have a lot of plans. I second guess all of them. So I'm working on that. Hopefully I can just put more action into it. And even if some of these plans might fail, probably 2/3 of them might not even reach the paper, but the ones that I do just send, I'm learning off of it, and mentally it's going to make me better and stronger. And in the meantime, I'm not worried about any of my past or anybody's past, and I'm enjoying the weather and I'm loving life. So this is the best part about recovery. If you can keep your mind on the positive things and don't think about it. It's sad because I've lost a lot of friends. I'm sure you guys have too, that are near and dear to me, and rest in peace to all of the ones that didn't make it. That's serious to me. I feel so bad for the ones that weren't able to be around to see this, and the ones that I can't give my advice to. So if you're watching this right now, my name's Mike Anderson. I'm Mr. 603 tuning in. This is the Badapple Fact Podcast. And if you're going through it, or your family's going through it, or your friends, or anybody at all that's going through the struggles of addiction, my heart and prayers are with you and your family, and everything's going to be okay. If you need help or you need somebody to talk to, you can reach out to me on any platform going, and I will respond with the best advice that I can give. And I hope that this reaches you guys. And I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Happy Easter if you celebrate. That's tomorrow, Easter Sunday. Easy on the candy, you know what I mean? And I just want to say thank God for everything and everything he's done for me and my family. I want to thank God for all the opportunities I've had. Even the ones that I threw away, I wouldn't have had if it wasn't for my higher power. And it's really changed my life more than I can even elaborate on, guys. I'm going through a lot myself personally, and it's all good stuff, but it's all challenging stuff. So If you can relate to this, you're my people. If you can relate to the challenges of life and be able to look into the hard days of life and still smile, you're my people. Because that's what we got to smile once in a while. Because no matter what, there's going to be hard days. So smile. So what? There's still funny stuff in hard days. And that's what I try to do. I try to make some funny videos. And they're corny. But even if they are corny, you can still pick on me. That's fine. And make a smile yourself, dude. That's it. And just keep pushing every second of every day. Just look for the bright side of things. The little wins count. And it's going to work. It's all going to be there. I'm here with you guys. If you guys are here with me, let me know in the comments what I should touch on and what I missed. If you want to hop on the podcast coming soon, I will have more technology hooked up and I will be able to have guests. And I'm very excited for that too. So long story short, happy Easter. Love you guys. Peace.